Damon Tyrell. I'm from Buffalo, New York. Yeah, lived in Atlanta for a couple years and shit. So I was having a mix between the two. I don't really like to claim Atlanta, but I gotta give Atlanta some love, bro. How was it coming up in Buff? It was crazy. Very violent, you know what I mean? Like not too much to do. Like we was in the hood, but the part of the hood that we was in was like the Beverly Hills. Funny enough, it was Beverly Road, but it was like the Beverly Hills of Buffalo or whatever. But when you got off that street, it was wild. You know what I'm saying? Like it was the trenches. So for me, it was a little bit more, I guess, safe. You know, my parents and shit, they kept me safe and shit. And then again, we moved down to the A. So, you know, I was partially raised in both. So I went on tour with Griselda back in 2020. My cousins from Buffalo, they actually ended up hitting me up. They got me away from this dead-end job I was at. And we recorded an EP solely produced by this producer in Atlanta called Black Metaphor. And, you know, it ended up getting to a point where Benny the Butcher, he did a showcase in Buffalo. We went for that showcase. I was the second one to go, and right then and there, the nigga was like, yo, give him the BSF contract, I want to sign him. So that just put a lot of eyes on me right then and there. And then from there, we just connected with his team. Shout out to BSF, we connected with his team, and we ended up going on tour with Griselda, man. It was fucking fire, it was crazy. It was dope as hell. One of the possibly top 10 moments of my career for sure. Linking up with BSF, linking up with Griselda, it was crazy because they do move like a unit. They move like military, you know what I mean? They move like real official. They got niggas around them that they not gonna let you get close and do no funny shit. And then, you know, them themselves, they just real cool, real calm, you know what I mean? It was a lot of love, specifically because I'm from the town too. So with me being from the town, it was just like, yeah, my nigga, it's all love right here, bro. It felt really good. I love them boys, man, for real. They doing some real good shit for the city. So I have a clothing line called House of Tyrell. It was really Griselda that inspired me because I started to see what they did with the merch and shit. Obviously, I always wanted to get into fashion just because I felt expressive through, you know, the way I dress. Like the shirt I got on now is like kind of different, kind of weird, you know what I mean? But it's Pokemon, that's my type of shit. I like anime and all of that shit. So I always was into it, but I was more so into like graphic tees and shit, you know what I mean? Like kind of wearing just my thoughts and shit that I liked on my shirt. So that's kind of what I do, and now I'm just getting more into like the fashion aspect. I never really been like a fashion type nigga. So like I'm looking into it now, just like the sew and the cut and all of that other shit. So, and I decided to call it House Tyrell because I fuck with Game of Thrones, but on top of that, you know what I'm saying? I'm Damon Tyrell. It's a House of Tyrell. You know what I mean? So when you come, you're gonna be seeing everything in the house. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my hub. You know what I mean? So as far as the logos, I came up with the logos based off my old albums.
Okay.
And every time I do something, I like to typically like create a world. You know what I mean? So for instance, Numbers Don't Lie. The last joint I did, I had somebody do the cover for that, and he had me sitting on the scoreboard or whatever. He had me sitting on a basketball hoop, and you know, when I was younger, I always wanted to be a basketball player. I'm not a tall dude, but I was definitely short when I was younger and shit. So seeing myself as a basketball player was fire. So I said, yo, I'm gonna just have to create something like that, put that on some merch and wear that. And I kind of like wanted to take Michael Jordan and Nike's kind of style with that and just put it together, you know what I mean, in my own little way. What mainly inspired me was like being broke and shit, you know what I mean, and wanting to get into that high fashion, and wanting to get into that high art and shit like that. And then eventually I just got to a point where, I mean, I just said, you know what, if I can't afford it, I might as well start designing my own. Like whatever I'm bringing to the table is high fashion as well. So that's what kind of inspired me to really do it. But Griselda they gave me that spark, you know what I mean, to add that to my repertoire of shit I was doing like right now. Cause I always wanted to get into fashion, but I was gonna wait till I blew up and rap. Now I'm just like, fuck it, I'm gonna do everything.